Welcome. What happened? It didn't fade out, but we are live. Michael Cooper, Nick Gelso, Showtime with Coop. Coop, who do you hang out? Insightful BS and what?
Insightful BS with Laker teammates and NBA legends.
I'm no legend. I'm just sitting in today, and it's our first live show, and we're kind of really not promoting it, doing it kind of on the fly. But Coop, we're going to be live just about every week now. We'll be able to interact with your fans. It's going to broadcast over your Twitter handle and your Instagram as well as YouTube. And then, of course, you could get this podcast on Spotify, iTunes, the Showtime with Coop podcast. So, Coop, what's up, man? You've been like a man about town the last probably month between the big three, Memorial Day, hanging out with Magic at the Dodgers game. Like, dude, aren't you tired?
No, I'll get tired when I'm ready to just call it quits and lay down 6 feet under. No, life is fun for me now. I got my hands in many things, but I'm still enjoying it. And first of all, it starts with Magic. He has every year he gives a Memorial Day thing at his house. Probably about 100 people come, and it's absolutely wonderful. A lot of people from Laker front office, friends, some of the fans that were there, and teammates, of course. And it's always good to see this year just Worthy, Rambis, Norm Nixon came. We brought our wives.
I saw that. I saw
AC
Norm.
Green was there, so yeah.
Showtime back. When you go to the Dodgers game, do they put you on the Jumbotron? Like on the big screens?
No.
In the Lakers games, they do, though, don't they?
Every now and then, but you know what? I don't go there for that. I go there to enjoy the event, have a good time out. The Dodger game, it was a great game. They were playing New York Yankees. Unfortunately, well, they were about to sweep the Yankees, but the Yankees won that particular game. So it was fun to be out there in the sun. I had my hat on, and I was on my 305 hat. We're going to cover that in a minute. Miami 305, because the big three is getting ready to get started. But I had that hat on and had a good time.
The big three, man. Let's talk big three because, like, not a new team name, but you also have some new teammates or new players you drafted. Correct? Tell your listeners about your big three team this year.
Well, this will be my sixth season with the big three. Our team, the league just used to own all the teams now, and now owners. We have an owner, and there were 4 owners to the team. Our team was bought by an owner, and he's out of Miami, so he renamed our team. Used to be called Three's Company, but now he renamed it Miami 305. And
I like that.
We got relatively the same players. We have Michael Beasley, played with the Heat back in the day with Coach Riley. Michael, probably the one of the best players in the league. We have Mario Chalmers, another former Heat player. Mario is he's one of the captains, co-captains with Michael Beasley. And then we have Reggie Evans, who's been in the big three for a long time. And then we have Sean Williams, who was with our team last year. Those 4 players were with us when we went to the finals last year and unfortunately lost a close game. And then we had the first round in the pick this year, and we picked up Lance Stevenson. Many people know him through his journey through the NBA. Lance, I think, is going to add a hell of a punch for us. I think our problem is going to be, since it's not full court, it's half court. Is Michael has to have the basketball, Lance has to have it, Mario has to have it. But I think it'll be a happy dilemma to have, because we just have to work our way through it. But we've got all the pieces, we think, to get back to the finals. And this time, I've been knocking on the door twice.
I know.
My second year in the league. No, my first year I was there, and we ended up losing to Power, which is Nancy Lieberman's team.
Mm-hmm.
And last year we lost to Gary Payton's team, Bivouac.
Yep. That one hurt. One hurt.
We knocked on.
Coop, I mean,
it did, because all we had to do was inbound the ball. They were a very aggressive team and overplayed, and we turned the ball over with, and they got it and threw up a Hail Mary, as Chick Hearn would say. And he threw it in the ocean. That's how big the basket looked. Chick used to say, when the Lakers were shooting and we were hot, it's like throwing a pea in the ocean. It's that big. And this guy just threw it up there and it went in. So, but this year's going to be different.
How much do you interact with who's the owner? Not Ice T. What's it? Ice Cube? No, Ice T.
Ice Cube. Ice Cube, the owner.
Ice T. I do this every time, Coop. I mix it up with Ice T. I sound like a 70-year-old here. I'm sorry, Ice Cube.
Well, you better be careful, Nick, because if you're on the streets, you get hands put on you, messing his name up like that. No, but Cube is great, man. He's interacted with the league. He's really made this league, taken it to a whole nother level. Now with the actual owners of the league, of teams in the league, it makes it more fun. It gives us a little bit more freedom, but still the rules are still the same. And Cube has always been a big supporter of myself, especially, and all the other coaches in the league as well as the players. So it's just fun basketball. And you know, when I first got in, I was like, how's he going to do this? And you know what? He makes it like a rap concert, and it's just music all the time. It's upbeat, but again, it's the players that make it go. And we have some fabulous players in the league now that are on another level. Dwight Howard is in the league. He plays with LA Riot, Nick Young's team. George Gervin used to have the Ghost Ballers, but now they changed that team. An owner out of Detroit bought them. So Gerv is going back to his childhood.
Yeah, man.
Gerv's from Detroit, so he's going to bring that swag with him. So it's a lot of fun, man. Gary Payton, who won it, now he coaches a team in Boston called the Boston Ball Hogs. So Gary is back there, kind of like where he knows. And so I have a double hatred for him when I go back there. I don't like him because he's a glove. He keeps claiming he's the best defensive guard that's ever played the game, and I have a disagreement with that. But now he's in Boston, a city I hate, but I'm gonna love to go because I want to beat the city I hate and him too. So I can get two birds with one stone going back there. So it's gonna be fun though. You got a lot of competition in the league, and that's just to name a few of the teams.
Coop, how are you going to deal with when you have the talent you have in like kind of like an amateur? I know it's semi-pro, right? So how do you deal with that from a standpoint of being the coach and having to really manage these guys? I mean, you're talking about trying to spread the wealth between, you know, very talented people where they have to share the ball. Is that challenging?
It's half court. Nick, it's half court, so they got to work it out. I mean, you have 14 seconds from the inbounding of the ball to taking a shot. So you got to get into a quick pick and roll. You can make maybe 2 or 3 passes, and then you play. And it's mostly one-on-one. I think the biggest misconception about the big three is that there's no defense. And the team that wins the championships, Power, Lisa Leslie, she's no longer in the league, but she'll be commentating, will be hopefully commentating. She had triplets. And last year, Gary's team, you got to play defense. And it's one-on-one. You can't load up and bring that extra guy over because you got 3 other people on the other side. This is straight man-to-man. And I really wish this league had been around when I played because I would have thrived off of this. I mean, I was a good one-on-one defensive player. And there's very little help. So that's what I enjoy about it. You can't hide anybody. If you can't play defense, you're going to be exposed. And that's one of the things that, as a coach, that I can do to prepare them in practice. That's the only thing we can do. Yeah, we'll run a play, but it's mostly shooting. A lot of in practice, we get an hour of practice. You get a lot of shots up. Then you kind of talk about how we want to guard somebody. And again, you can't force them this way or that way. You got to contain them and make them take a jump shot. So that's the joy I love about it. And that's what Cube meant this league was to be about. You know, before you got to the pros, when you were in high school or you were 20 years old and you went to the playground, and what you did is you went to your neighborhood and you got 3 of your friends or 2 of your friends. Hey, man, let's go up to the gym and play. And you 3 knew each other so well that you didn't want to pick anybody else. You bring your own team up there. And that's what it's about. This is straight mano a mano, one-on-one. And if I got the best one-on-one player on my team, well, I'm going to showcase them. And it's half court. The bad part about it is there's no running to the other end.
No fast break.
So it's fun.
What kind of challenge does Dwight Howard pose in a 3-on-3 format?
Well, I think Dwight will bring his defensive tenacity. I think that's one big thing. And the league is very physical. And with that being said, I think that's what Nick Young is trying to fill his team up with, that physicality. And Dwight's a rebounder. So, again, offensive rebounds and defensive rebounds are at one hoop. And I think that's the thing he's going to bring. I think the thing that may hurt them a little bit is that Dwight is not known. He can hit an outside shot, but he's not known for that. So I think the goal going in playing against the LA Riot will be that pick and roll and those lobs. You know how they do in the NBA now. Them guys pick and roll and they throw those lobs. That's going to be the issue with him. So we're going to have to really get defined and have our pick and roll covers done. There ain't going to be no hesitation. You're going to have to switch. Whoever is the ball handler, you got to switch, and the other person got to stay and keep a body on Dwight Howard. But Dwight's going to bring notoriety. He's going to bring glamour.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to bring a whole lot of funny because Dwight's a very hilarious guy, but I mean, not in a funny way where it's childish. It's that
goofy, right?
Always playing basketball.
Yeah,
and that's going to be the fun part. And you know, he's a gift of gab guy, so I expect to hear a lot of things on social media or some of the games, some of the things he says.
I think it definitely heightens the interest because I love Dwight, but you either love him or you hate him. He knows how to get people polarize people online, and he's got. I mean, if you think about it, he's really kind of got something to prove, if that's even possible at his age, because he could have gotten a roster spot this last 2 seasons. Let's face it, and you know he's going to now go to the Big Three and potentially Wilt Chamberlain y'all. Let's see what happens.
Well, that we're not going to allow. That's not going to fucking happen. Not against Miami 305. That's not going to happen. Maybe against some other teams. But I think the one thing that, like I said, you know, players that are plus 30 on that upper side of their career, I think there's still the one thing that I've always said I missed about playing basketball is the camaraderie.
Yeah.
You know, after you get 33, 34, your body aches and you got to go up and down. And if you got a coach like Pat Riley that all he wants to do is run up and down in practice, not in the game, it kind of hurts. So now, but you still have that desire and that ambition that you still want to play a little bit. And I've always said, although you can make money overseas, out of sight, out of mind, and people have a tendency to forget you. So right now, here with the Big Three, people still remember you. So that's going to attract the Dwight Howard followers, the fans that really enjoy the game and enjoyed the way he played. Okay, let's go see what Dwight has.
Yep.
And I think that's the fun part about it. You get to keep that. And that's why I love coaching in the Big Three, because the camaraderie in the locker room, the preparation, get ready to play, although I can't do nothing when I step out there. But if I was guarding Dr. J, or if I was guarding
George Gervin,
or some of them older guys, I might be able to hang. But we're what they say, we're stuck. We're done. Stick a fork in us. So now we get to watch, and our competitive nature comes out in talking. Gary Payton is still the number one trash talker in the Big Three as a coach, and I'm trying to rival him, and he gets it going and animated. So it's fun.
It's awesome. I mean, it really, especially from a standpoint, like you said, I think there's that certain period of depression for newly retired players, and this can really help them. It helps them, I would think, transition to the next aspect of their life while still keeping ball a part of their game. Now, if you win another Big Three title, you'll have won NBA as a player, WNBA twice, and Big Three. That'll be what, 8 titles?
And the G League, I won that.
2, right? Twice.
The D League. The D League once. D League once. So the NBA, WNBA, D League, and if I win this, will be the 4th title. That has things to do with the NBA.
So you'll have 9 basketball championships.
Yep.
Coop, that puts you in. I mean, it's not as obviously as impactful as all NBA titles.
Yeah,
but if you have enough rings, man,
you're a long stretch from Bill Russell all the way.
I was gonna compare you to Russell.
Of course, you have to bring up a fucking Celtic, but that's a whole other story.
Well, there's no Lakers with that many titles, bro. Come on. Speaking of, Coop, a lot of news. It's the NBA Finals, so we're waiting. We're bated breath, waiting for news. I think there's a lot of speculation in Celtics Nation and Lakers Nation. Here we are. We're live here. We're broadcasting on your Twitter feed. We got people who showed up. I didn't expect it because we didn't promote it at all. But I think we probably have a good portion of Celtics and Lakers fans in this room because of your Twitter feed. So Let's start with
more Laker fans than Celtics fans, but
you're beloved in Boston. You are beloved.
I really respect the Celtic fan because they know their basketball. So
and they love you, Coop. Yeah. Like it is like you. I think they're going to retire your number here because it's like. I'm not kidding. Like every time I say, yeah, I co-host. You remember Michael Cooper? Coop, you co-host with Coop.
Nick, if that were to happen, I would just say goodbye to everybody. I'm done, man. It's a wrap for me. I've accomplished everything I wanted to in basketball.
Red Auerbach and Jerry West would be rolling over in their graves. Sure. So anyway, on the Lakers front, I mean, all I really got is my LeBron hatred. So let's start with you. Any news, speculation, rumors, gossip, needs, anything you want to throw out there in this kind of dead zone, I guess, for real fact news until the
I'm not going to speculate. I think anything we talk about today with the Lakers is from my point of view. I haven't talked to anybody, Rob or Rambis or anybody like that to find out, JJ Redick to find out. I'm just telling you from a big chair sofa sitting at home watching the Lakers because my love is the Laker team on what they need. And as I see it right now, Nick, and I'm going out on a limb with this.
Oh, one. Here we go. Here we fucking go. Yep.
We're going to start with the Lakers, but we're going to end with the Celtics. And as we end with the Celtics, we end with them even thinking about winning another championship because they're cooked now. Okay. It's so unfortunate that Tatum got hurt, but I'm going to go with the Lakers right now. The Lakers are going to compete for that 18th trophy between our two organizations, but for the NBA title this year. This
year, you say that every season.
Listen, I'm not getting into who they should trade, who's a free agent, player options. I'm not getting into anything like that. I'm going to get into the team that I saw this year. And it's so unfortunate that we didn't get past Minnesota because had we got past them, the Lakers would be playing for a title now. I really do believe that. But the team that's on paper in front of me right now is good enough. Looking at these other teams, experienced enough. And I think our biggest concern, and he's already shown that he's making strides for being better shape.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's on the list.
Man gets it down and he comes in and he won't believe how when you're in shape, you can play through and be preventable some of the injuries that he has gotten, a pull this or pull that, fatigue. He's going to be over. And the pictures I've seen of him right now, Luka looks fantastic, man.
Really good.
The fun part about it is that he'll realize, okay, you don't have to be that big guy to play in this game. You still going to have that strength. But the longevity that you'll have, you'll be able to play more games. You'll be able to really be an impactful player with the Lakers. And he was impactful this year. But he could have been even more so. And I think the Lakers are going to come back. I loved what I've heard about JJ Redick and him talking about, you know what, hey, he took some accountability on some of the mistakes he made as a young coach, a new coach in the league, and he's learned from that. And now he's going to be able to really coach this team and not just coach it through a former player's eyes. He can coach it from a real coaching standpoint. And when you're coaching talented players, it's like putting the pieces of the puzzle. Every time you put a piece out there, that piece has to fit to keep the system rolling. And I think he's going to learn. He's learned that, and he's going to take accountability for the Lakers defense. I think look for the Lakers to be a better defensive team next year. And that don't mean everybody has to be a good defensive player, but everybody got to make the effort on the defensive end.
Meaning the king. The king has to make the effort. Coop.
Well, LeBron held his own. I think it was a lacking of everybody. I think Luka wasn't in the best of shape, so his movement was a little slow. Reaves worked hard at it, but I think now the Lakers will have a philosophy on defense. To me, it just looked like they were just trying to stay in front of people. Now, in the NBA, you got to force certain people a certain way. You got to do certain things to their best one or two scorers. And I think the Lakers will solve that problem, and that they'll come out with a better mindset. And I don't necessarily think, because the trend of the NBA now, if you look at the two teams that are playing, Miles, what's the kid? Miles for Indiana? Miles Turner. Miles Turner is not a shot blocking center. He's a more mobile center. You look at what OKC is playing with Harpenstein and the other big kid. Those kids will block shots, but you have to look. They're not like the prototypical center. So the Lakers can get away with Hayes if they keep him. Vanderbilt playing big. Max Kleber. I think those players are the type of new NBA centers. So once the Lakers get their philosophy down on defense, I think about what they want to do with certain teams, and you can't play every team the same way. Lakers are going to be good, man, and they're going to win a championship. And then I'm going to get here to stand on our show next year and tell you, what's the count now? 18-18? Okay, that's right, yeah.
I don't think that – I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think the Celtics with their current roster, without Tatum – with no moves. I mean, they're obviously going to make some trades. They're way over the tax. But I think with this roster, with no Tatum, they still beat LA in a 7-game series. I mean,
you must be out your mind, Nick. You're crazy.
Dude, I mean,
you're crazy.
I'll tell you who you could really use.
No, they don't. Lakers got 3 legitimate 30-point scorer on any given night. Reaves has shown that he can get his. LeBron is going to always get his, and Luka is going to always get his. There's not many people in the league that can stop that. Now, I think what the Lakers did, the luxury about that is they don't have to get 30 every night. You got Finney-Smith, you got Vanderbilt, you got Hachimura. Just staying with that. I think Connect needs to play a little bit more, and with another year under his belt, he's going to be a big, important piece to the Lakers' success moving forward too.
I'm sorry, Coop. Who guards Derek White? Who guards
the whole team?
Brown?
The whole team
didn't defend last year.
Teams play defense, not individuals. As an individual, I got to guard him, but I could never stop Michael, Larry, Dr. J, George Gervin by myself. No, I got beat a lot of the times, and when I got beat, my teammates were always there to hold them up until I could get back into play. That's what wins championships. And you look at Indiana and you look at Sacramento, 2 good-ass team defensive teams, okay?
Cool. I'm sorry. I think I have not only more faith in the roster, but more importantly, our MVP, Brad Stevens, over Pelinka. I'll take it all day when you're talking about trying to assemble a roster. Pelinka has disassembled more good rosters than he's assembled. Well, so we'll see.
Go ahead.
So, no, I mean, we'll see what happens. I think both teams are going to be pretty level this year around a 5th, 6th seed. I don't think the Lakers, and even if they got, I just don't see it. I mean, I could be wrong. Luka's amazing, but he needs more help, and LeBron needs to retire.
Well, that's coming from your point of view, and you out there on the East Coast, and you being a Celtic, because right now you're really showing that you've been drinking some haterade. What's that you drinking over there?
The LeBron haterade.
Listen, LeBron at this stage of the game is just as good as better than Al Horford.
Oh, better than Al Horford.
Just as good as Jaylen Brown right
now.
That
is not true. No.
Only one better than LeBron right now is Jason Tatum. And again, I really, really was so hurt. I actually cried, Nick. That kid was playing extremely good basketball.
I know.
And you never want an injury like that to curb somebody's career. And the type of injury he sustained, you know what? I really hope he's able to come back and get to at least 95%, because that's a tough injury to come back off of. And that's that injury. Anything with your feet and hips and stuff like that, those are some bad injuries. But again, I pray for him, and hopefully he'll get with the best doctors and he'll bounce back. But right now, the Celtics would love to have LeBron James on their team. Right now, they would love to have LeBron.
I can guarantee you 1,000,000% they would not bring him on unless he played for free. Which we know is never happening.
The way they giving money away, LeBron, the only thing free you get from me is you get to hold my jock strap after I take it off. You can hold that for free.
Coopy.
Crazy, man.
Coop.
The money that they're paying these guys, LeBron is worth that and some.
Coopy, he's out there saying right now there needs to be a 1-month break between the end of the regular season and the beginning of the playoffs.
You know what?
Is everybody 42 or just him?
The things that players are saying now is just it's incredible that they say that. I haven't heard that, first of all.
Oh yeah, on his podcast.
He's saying that they need to take a month break from the end of the season to the first game of the playoffs.
Yep, a month off. So because his reasoning is players should not be expected to go and I have a bigger question here, but should not be expected to go from 0 to 100 in a week between the playoffs and the regular season. But my question is, why are you playing at 0 during the regular season, LeBron? I mean, you may average a triple-double, but you don't get back on defense.
Listen,
and here's the other one, Coop. One more thing. I got a beat on this one. One more thing. The other thing he said on this podcast was it wasn't just him and Luka's fault because there's 10 other players on the team. What leader says that?
Well, I kind of understand where he's coming from.
But you don't say it.
Well, yeah, you don't say it, but he's LeBron, so he can say what he wants to. But again, I think he's kind of right because you know what? You look at New York's demise. Okay, New York fired their head coach. How do you fire Thibodeau? He wasn't out there not stopping anybody. He wasn't messing up plays. He wasn't throwing the ball away. Okay, so there's other players on the court, and in today's NBA, you got to look at it. Luka and LeBron are at the top of the scouting report. They're at the top. Okay. What are we going to do to take this from LeBron? What do we got to do to get Luka? So you're going to have 2.5 to sometimes 3 players on those guys. That leaves you with 3 players on the other side with 1.5, 2 players to play. Now, if they're kicking the ball over there and they're not hitting shots, oh, yeah, that's on them. That's on them. I can't force up shots because I am.
I
that's
agree.
What he's saying.
Yeah, but I don't know that it's right to be saying it. Like you know what I mean?
Well,
whatever.
You know what?
Whatever. He can say whatever he wants.
As a team captain, I'm saying it to let these guys know I'm holding y'all accountable this upcoming season. Y'all got to come play. You got to come play, man. And I mean, yeah, you know what? And like I said, in today's game, Magic, Kareem probably never would have said that out loud, but that is being said in practice. That's being said in the locker room. Yeah, so why not say it out loud? Today's players have a bigger voice, a larger medium. They got more impact. They can say things now. And you know what? Hey, get out there. Put it out there now. So all you other guys, y'all better come play basketball. And when you get the basketball, it's y'all's job to hit shots and to do the other little things. Now, and as well as they can say on defense, LeBron, if I get beat, you got to be there. You can't be watching. They can say the same thing about that. But you know what? Captains have to be forceful. And sometimes they have to have a voice that's going to put everybody on alert. Oh, shit. LeBron said, okay, well, that's going to make me work on my game. Because in '85, when I wasn't hitting shots, Kareem and Magic, Coop, you got to shoot the ball, man. You got to shoot the ball.
Then you became an assassin.
I spent that summer getting myself ready to play, man. And then I came back and had probably my best offensive year in 1985. So, yeah, he could say that.
And you torched us. Well, you torched us with that new 3-point shot in '87.
And that was because my teammates forced me to.
But
what they want to do is rest Larry Bird on me and have Larry guard me, and Larry saying, "Shoot it, shoot it, shoot it." I wouldn't shoot the ball.
Who on the Showtime Lakers would have guarded LeBron?
I think it would have been a defense by committee. I think Worthy would have started on him. Jamal Wilkes would have played him a little bit. Then I would have had a little bit on him. And then we would always, in the low post, we were going to always, if he threw the ball, if they threw it into him in the low post, you know how that back down thing they have now? He wasn't going to back down too much. After that second dribble, he was going to have to pass it or make a move. So
he's a great passer. He's a great passer, but that's the strategy. Get the ball out of his hands and make everybody else score. All right, well, let's not really hone in too much on the finals, Coop, but I do have one thing in regards to the finals that a lot of people have been saying. One who broadcasts a podcast with our company, CLNS, friend of yours, and that's Bob Ryan. He recently said, when I see, this was on Twitter or X, when I see the Pacers, the first thing I think of are the Showtime Lakers scoring on a fast break after a made basket. Just ask the Knicks if you don't believe me. I want your reaction to that.
Words well said, Bob. I love Bob. Bob's always been a big fan of mine, and I've always been a big fan of his. Although I used to call him Poison Pen Bob back in the 80s.
Oh, because that's a good one.
Like that one thing that kind of like got under your skin. So, but Bob Ryan, I love him to death. But you know what? That's a great analogy. And it is right on point because you know what? They scored. That's the Knicks. So Brunson hit a shot one time. This is, I think, was in the third game or third or fourth game in Indiana. Hit a shot. They got the ball out of bounds, Haliburton, and the ball never hit the floor, and they hit Siakam under the basket for a layup. Yep. And that's how basketball is played. You know what? You have to have a short memory, like you have to, you're not hitting the shots, but you have to have a short memory on defense. They score, okay. The game is about scoring. If I can get you to miss, then it's going to work to our advantage. But if you're scoring, so what? Get the ball out, get it in, and push. And they do that extremely well. This is going to be, you know what? People may not like Indiana, OKC, but you have to appreciate the way these kids are playing. They're playing basketball the right way, and that's why both of these teams are in the finals. And you know what? I'm not going to make a prediction because I think I'm a jinx. And
you are a jinx.
Every team I have rooted for, I have
always.
I want the best team to win. I'm gonna say that. But Indiana's a very good team, and they play defense well, and they move the ball.
They run, man. I mean, they do run. Did you happen to see? And I feel terrible about this, but Haliburton during the MVP, the trophy presentation at the Eastern Conference Finals, when they were giving out the MVP to Siakam, and they cut to Haliburton, and the poor guy thought that he won and was walking forward and went, I'm the MVP, and then just stopped and kind of receded. It was honestly, I felt bad for him. Siakam deserved the MVP, Eastern Conference.
I do. I think so. That kid played, man. He played extremely well whenever they were struggling. And you got to remember, there was a couple of games. Haliburton only had 4 points or something like that. But Siakam was carrying that team. But you know what, Haliburton? Now what you do is you go out and you win the MVP of the finals.
The finals,
Now that should give him incentive for that. But you know what? Never ever be disappointed that your teammate.
Yeah,
you know, but even though you thought you'd done it, there was a couple of times in our championship runs where I thought Magic should have got it, and they gave it to Kareem.
Kareem, yeah.
But you know, he's the head of the snake or the head of the horse of that team, and Haliburton. Hey, you know what? Sometimes it's all you want to do is win the big prize. That way, people can never say you've never won a championship. That should be his earning point.
What year did you think Magic earned the MVP over Kareem? Couldn't be 85, 83, 2? 82. Because 81 Magic won, or 80 Magic won deservingly. And then 82
Magic us in 82. And Kareem won it in 82.
I believe so, yeah. 82 and 85. And Magic won it again in 87.
Now, 85 was up in there too, because Magic was bringing it for us that year, man, especially a day that I'll never, ever forget. Was the Memorial Day Massacre.
Yeah.
And you know what? Magic was very pivotal at the room and for the entire series after that, because he was the one that was like firing us up, getting us ready to go. And, you know, Kareem was a player that you didn't have to talk too much in the locker room. Kareem would be reading the paper or be in his own world, and Magic was walking around the locker room. Let's go. Y'all get ready. We got to get this. And I mean, out on the court, doing warm-ups, in practice, at shoot-around. Y'all, come on now. This is what we're about. This is who we are. This is showtime. And so, you know what? But Magic was never about individual accolades, although I'm pretty sure that he wanted those. We all do. You know, you want to be recognized for your play. But Magic was about the bottom line. How many championships we won, and teams win championships, not individuals. But 85, I thought, but you know, after Kareem came back after the Memorial Day, what he scorched off a 34 that game,
man,
38,
he was unstoppable
right there, and he was on the tail end of his career. People were like, okay, let's get it, because Magic will be here some more.
And he spent a week in Boston listening to Boston radio talk about how he was dead in the water and should retire. And he came back
up and down the floor. All of
that.
Dude,
I could still see that fist in the air after that sky hook that sealed the deal.
Oh, that 20-foot sky hook.
That's 20-foot. Yeah. He always torched us from that area.
But listen. What you don't know is that Magic was in Kareem's ear. Cap, get out there and show him. You show and shoot arounds at practice. He fired Kareem up, man. The guy
really
and was feeding him the ball constantly. Cap, they can't guard you. Who's on you? Nobody, Buck. Who's on you? Nobody, Buck. First it was McHale, Parrish, then McHale and Parrish. Then McHale, Parrish, and Ames was always dropping out. And the sky hook right there was killing you guys. So that's what it was all about then. But a lot of that had to do with Magic being just keeping us fired up, man.
Well, I'm Magic. He the best point guard of all time.
Yeah, I would say so. And only reason I say that, because there's been some, I mean, Allen Iverson was a hell of a point guard. I thought Isaiah Thomas, another good point guard. Bob Cousy, in his own way, a great
Steph
point
Curry.
Guard. So Steph Curry, there you go. But as far as for me, what Magic did is, in a point guard, you look for speed, you look for creativity, you look for, Magic had all that in a big package. And yeah, Steph Curry might get 50 points, but remember, he only going to have 3 or 4 rebounds. He only going to have maybe 6 or 7 assists as he's scoring that 50. Shit, Magic was scoring 30 and getting double 15 boards, 15 assists, 10 or plus more assists. So for me, at the time that we played, and I can kind of like transition that to today's game, Magic would be a force in today's game too.
Bigger, be like LeBron.
Every time with the basket, he's gonna foul. He's like a bigger version, or kind of like a LeBron. How LeBron goes to the basket. LeBron's big. Them guys fall off of him like raindrops, So Magic, but Magic, Oscar Robertson. I mean, man, it's. And I'm being a little biased, because I played with the guy and I got to see him work every single day, practice, even when he wasn't having good days or good games, and he always brought it. So I would say, but I mean, you can put some others up there that can stand up there with him, man, and their numbers are prove that they belong there.
I got him at number 1 too, and people will come at me and say, "You didn't play any defense." Coop, will you explain to the listeners that don't know what a great team defensive player Magic was, especially double teaming.
Because you know what, Magic was okay one-on-one. He wasn't going to stop you. I mean, if you gave him a couple of shakes or something like that, you're going to be by him. But and this was the uniqueness and the creativity, brilliance of Pat Riley. You know what? We'll put Magic on just an average player. Just put him on anybody else over there. But in the NBA, in the 80s, it was championships are won from the inside out. You always got that ball inside. The ball had to touch the paint. We went into Parrish, it went into McHale, and if the double team came, then they were kicking it out, and that's how we were generating shots.
Moses.
Well, yeah. So for us, Magic was the greatest team defensive player because he was 6'9", he was long, he was big. You weren't gonna bust his double team because Magic was strong too, and he had quick hands. So Magic was the best double team. He was always, hey, Coop, force him this way. I'll be there with you. Cat, we're going to put him here, take away baseline from Parrish. Don't let him spin baseline. Make him come back to the middle because I'm going to be there. And Magic was never not there when he's supposed to. And that in itself is why we were such a great defensive team. And he was a great double teamer because of his ability to understand, even if he was on the opposite side. Magic always came back a little bit, and if that ball went in and he was supposed to double, and say I thought that he wasn't going to get there and I ran down there, oh, man, we would get lit up. Cool, stay on yours. Get your man. I got the double team. And that's what made him such a great player because he thought the game, too, and he understood
ahead of
what to take away.
And great anticipator, too, played passing lanes well. I mean, people pick on Magic for defense. I didn't want to see him double teaming. I love how 40 years later, you're still barking out, we kept Robert Parrish from the baseline because that was his move, baby. Turn from the baseline.
Right shoulder. Yeah.
Or turn and blow by the defender and dunk. Did you guys have to prep a lot for Parrish? Was it more McHale? I mean, Bird, you guys had the game plan. You really did stop Bird. You slowed him down.
Bird was a secondary thought because we knew McHale was the one. And that's what the brilliance of Jerry West going out and getting Michael Thompson.
Yeah.
Because Mike had played with McHale in Minnesota in college. So Mike knew his moves. But our thing was, okay, we had to get the ball out of the post. What the Celtics killed you with, Bird, Ainge, Wedman, all them guys, Dennis Johnson, they were going to hit threes. They were going to hit perimeter shots. So you couldn't give Boston 28, 30 points in the paint and then give them 30, 40 points outside. You're not going to win against that. So our philosophy was we got to take the paint away. Let's give these guys jump shots. Let's see if they can beat us from the jumper. Then, you know what? They won more than they lost against all teams, not just us. So that was our philosophy. McHale and Parrish, it didn't matter which side they were on, we're going to get their touches. And if you went one-on-one with them, they were going to destroy you. And that was our key to our success. And if you look at the NBA now, when you try to look at teams now, and that's why I say Indiana was very good at keeping what's his name? Cat, keeping Cat from that low post, keeping the people from Anunoby from being down in the low post. Indiana was very physical down there, and they made New York shoot jump shots. And you're not going to beat me from the three, just shooting constantly 3-pointers, and that's why they were able to win. So our goal was get that ball out the paint, make Boston shoot jumpers.
Coop, look at the screen. A commenter, Lakers fan. Lakers badly need a point guard like Derek White.
Who's the
commenter? It's Tra-Brex. He says Lakers badly need a point guard like Derek White.
Yes and no for me. I think Derek White is an exceptional player. I think Derek White could go to any team and make that team a better team. But you know what? The Lakers, Austin Reaves is good, man. AR-15 is very good. And I think he compares with Derek White. He may not have like White's a better defensive player, and he gets there and he's able to block a couple of more shots. But Austin Reaves can score. And if you're looking at what Derek White provides, he gets the ball up the floor, he gets them into a play, he knocks down his three, and he's an adequate defensive player.
Tremendous defensive player. What do you mean?
What?
I think he led all guards in the league in block shots. He's a Dennis Johnson caliber defensive player.
Yeah. Well, Austin Reaves is that. Austin
better
Reaves
than
can do those type of things. He ain't not gonna block a lot of shots, but Austin Reaves, he plays hard and he plays aggressive, and you know what? Sometimes his feet get mixed up and you blow by him. But what is the biggest weapon that Derek White have? He knocks down threes at the other end.
Yeah.
And that's what Austin Reaves does. So again, the Lakers, yes. And to answer the question, yes, we need that, but no, that's not a necessity for us. I mean, if we got that, sure, Lakers would love to have a Derek White type of player, but I think we already have that in Austin Reaves.
So need is probably too harsh of a statement. Here's another one, Coop, from Cousin Mamba. Jordan 23, GOAT status, could not guard Magic in the finals on the way to Mike's first championship. Coach Jackson had to put Pippen on Magic. Thoughts?
Well, there you go. And that tells you what Magic was about. And again, another brilliance of another coach. Coach Jackson, great Hall of Famer coach, understanding the dynamics of what it takes to be a solid defensive team. Yes, Michael probably could have got over there, but what Magic did that Scotty took away from him is that with Michael, Magic could throw them hook passes over the top. He could find people like Scotty was long, and Scotty could do that and take that away. Plus, Scotty was going to be, and again, you don't want to wear Michael Jordan out too much on defense because you take away what he's going to give you the most on the offensive end. So put somebody else on him. And you know what? That's like our situation. Magic could have guarded Larry. He could have guarded. They're both the same size. But why?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Let Coop take all that hit. So that was the thing about that. Great question. And that's the brilliance of a coach, is trying to figure out, again, pieces of the puzzle. Phil was putting that piece where it needs to be, which is Scottie Pippen on Magic. And then they started putting Dennis Rodman on Magic.
Yeah. I mean, you think about that. Magic was that good that Rodman. Let me ask you this. That was 1991. That was your first year of retirement. Were you feeling put out not being in that series?
No, I think
you were in Italy, weren't you?
I was ready to retire. I would have loved to have been there. I was just coming back from Italy that year, coming back and watching that team. But you know what? That Chicago team was suited and booted to win a championship. They had all the pieces. Craig Hodges, Steve Kerr. They had all the pieces there, man.
Paxson, Horace Grant. I mean, they were. But I'll tell you, that was nearly another Celtics-Lakers finals because the Celtics had a better record than the Bulls that year, and then Bird got hurt. Anyway.
So unfortunate you guys couldn't be there for the big dance. But you know what? That's okay.
Coop, I'm still talking about it 30-some years later. I mean, I'm still feeling it, you know? Anyway, we went a little long today. I mean, we're going to be doing these live shows regularly, and we did not promote this at all today. So to have several hundred people show up is really pretty awesome. And
And we're going to have some guests. I promise you that, Nick. I got some people lined up that I think people are going to be happy about. And it's going to be fun because then I like it. Even if we don't have guests, we get to interact with the fans. Ask us your questions. And you can be haters if you want. They don't always have to be nice questions. Send in some of them bad ones. And if we can answer it the appropriate way, we definitely will. But we're all about appeasing, giving you, that sports fan out there, the things you want to hear. We want to give y'all some eargasm that you can say, you know what? Make you think about some shit.
So I agree. And Coop, I put a little jab at you up on the screen as we speak. Obviously, Cooper hasn't been watching a lot of Celtics games, that coming from a Lakers fan, about Derek White. But anyway,
I just try not to.
so our viewers know, our plan is, now keep in mind, Coop is obviously an NBA Hall of Famer, but he's traveling the country with the big three right now. So there may be some slight variations, but our plan at this time is to do live every Monday for about 30 minutes to an hour at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. It's going to broadcast on the CLNS Media YouTube channels live, also on Coop's handle on Twitter and Instagram. And you can always find the Showtime with Coop podcast on iTunes and Spotify. We ask you to subscribe. Now, before we sign off, Coop, I got one more thing, and I bring this up because I know you really like this site. I used to work with them. I love them at Lakers Nation, and they always show love to Lakers history. And last week, they put out their top list ranked most underrated Lakers of all time. And Coop, you were number 1 on that list, even after having your number retired and being put into the Hall of Fame this past year. You're still considered one of the most underrated Lakers of all time. Who would you put on that list in place of you?
I have Kurt Rambis, and this is not in any particular order.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt Rambis. I think Kurt goes under the radar because, you know what, at that time, the NBA, as it does now, always think about people that are scoring and doing this and that. Kurt wasn't flashy, but Kurt was solid, and Kurt was consistent, and he was accountable. Kurt was going to do his job every single night in every single game. And I think people, Kurt had his own little clique with him, the Clark Kent.
What were they called? Rambis Youth. The Rambis Youth.
And all of them dressed up as Clark Kent with glasses. I love that stuff. But Kurt Rambis goes, I think he's underrated and not talked about enough about all the championships that we won and the Lakers' success. Moving into the front office now, still doing his thing. Another player who didn't really get to fulfill his true worth for the Los Angeles Lakers because of a bad knee injury, but Mitch Kupchak. Mitch Kupchak, this guy could play, man. And when the Lakers got him from the Washington Bullets and that trade and brought him over there and Mitch came in, Mitch was the prototypical, that kind of 6'9", 6'10", out of North Carolina, could bang, could run the floor, but could score down low. People really didn't get an opportunity to see his true worth. Mitch blew out his knee, had probably one of the worst knee injuries you could ever have. But Mitch Kupchak goes unforgotten, underrated with the Los Angeles Lakers. Another one, Byron Scott.
Yeah, he should be a Hall of Famer.
Byron was the prototypical, and that's why he brought there. Byron was supposed to be the Jerry West of the new age basketball, somebody that could just stick shots. Unfortunately, we lost Norm Nixon through the trade, but we picked up a vital piece in Byron, and Byron was the absolute perfect complementary piece to Magic. Didn't require to dribble the ball a lot. All he had to do was be ready to shoot the basketball, and Byron did it with the best of them. Plus, a good defensive player, too. Active hands. Byron was strong. And being from Inglewood, he had that McNasty in him. And we love that about B. Scott. He was, Byron was one.
He should be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, and we're going to push that, too, because he should be. Another player, Derek Fisher. I think a Laker player, Fish, man, from the Kobe, Shaq era with the Lakers. You had so many players over there: Paul Gasol, Shaq, Kobe. People have a tendency to not remember Derek Fisher, but Derek was a hell of a player. All the big shots he hit, that shot he hit against San Antonio Spurs, take that game in. I mean, Fish was something else, and Fish was a solid defensive player and an accountable player. And very, very smart, too. That was the one thing. Basketball IQ was off the chart with Fish.
Understated, too. He wasn't a loudmouth. He was, he was really pretty quiet and a silent assassin. I remember in 2010, I mean, Kobe deserved that finals MVP, no doubt. But I think it was game 5 where Derek Fisher just scorched the Celtics at Boston Garden. And that really set the tone for the rest of the series. Fish doesn't have his number retired. That should probably go up there.
Yep, I do believe. And you know what? See, Fish wasn't on the scouting report. He was down at the bottom of the scouting report. Yeah. And those are the players. And again, I was always at the bottom of the scouting report.
Yep. Except with Tommy Heinsohn, baby. Tommy Heinsohn put you at the top of the scouting report every broadcast.
Hey, that's like the old Happy Harrison. Happy Harrison used to be and Happy Harrison, man, played his role to magnificent and was good. But Fish was a great shooter. He took advantage of what people gave him and knocked down shots. And last but not least, my top 5. I know I'm missing somebody, but these are the people that come to mind. Because as you can see, I've got gray now, so my memory goes a little bit. Yeah. Robert, big shot, Horry. Man, Rob should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Rob should have his number retired up there. Rob has what, 9
or 10 rings? 11, I think.
11, yeah.
So many rings.
Man, Rob is a player that
we got to get him on.
Could fit anywhere. Anywhere. Yeah. You got to remember, he played with San Antonio, winning with the Los Angeles Lakers. Where else was he?
Wasn't he with Houston too? I mean, Houston, he was all over the league.
With the Dream, he was down there with Clyde and them. Rob could fit in anywhere, and Rob was that unique player. You know how they talk about that point forward now when Scottie Pippen got the ball, the forward or whoever, however.
Point forward.
Rob was that before anybody, but Rob was a shooting forward. Remember, forwards back then were big guys at Lonnie Shelton.
Lonnie Shelton.
Guys got down low, and their job was just to bang and do the dirty work. Maurice Lucas. But Rob played 4 or now what they call it, the stretch 4. That's it.
Stretch 4.
The stretch 4. Rob, man, did that better than anybody else. He did it with Houston. He did it with San Antonio, and then he brought his luxuries and all that scoring and that pretty jump shot to the Lakers and helped them win. So Robert Horry are underrated players that people have a tendency to forget, but it's those players that make championship teams. And there you have it.
Before we sign out, you mentioned Maurice Lucas. I just got to ask this, and I threw it on the list of things to talk about because I've been wanting to ask you this for years without McAdoo on air with us. Was Maurice Lucas the amount of a disappointment as Bob McAdoo makes him out to be, having been traded, taking McAdoo out of the Lakers and putting Maurice Lucas in?
Well, I think at that time, those moves were made to be strategically and looking for the future of the Lakers. And you know what, Mac, as well as Michael Cooper, we were all on the tail end of our career, and that's what we were looking for. People were saying we were a little soft, we were a little this, and when they brought Maurice Lucas in, he was supposed to be that enforcer that won a championship in '72 with the Portland over the Sixers.
Trailblazers, 77.
Trailblazers, yeah, 77. I'm sorry, 77. With the Trailblazers, and he playing up there with Bill Walton. So Maurice was supposed to be our enforcer. He was the guy who's going to come in and make sure everything stays straight. And if there was a problem, there was going to be some furniture moving. And Maurice was moving. So that's what he brought in to do. And that little weird patent jump shot he had. Mid-range. So, you know what? Those are players that you got to have. Trades happen, and you miss one guy, but you love this guy. And I think that's what happened there. But obviously, McAdoo was way better scorer than Maurice. But Maurice was, I think, just as a little tougher. Down low.
Well, and McAdoo was dealing with injuries a lot at that point, I think, too. So anyway, Coop, we got to get Worthy on because I have a couple. We got to get him on soon because I want to get him on with the fans, and I got some bullshit I got to throw at him from Celtic City when he did that documentary. Too. He'll love this format. Yeah. So I think we'll roll with this real soon. I am really pumped about this. Coop, we've been talking about this forever. So I think you could feel the energy. I think live is going to do us really well. Unless something comes up. So stay tuned to Cooper's Twitter my Twitter, the CLNS Twitter, to announce for next Monday at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. If something comes up, we'll give you the other date during the week we're going to do it. But we want everybody to keep showing up. This was great, Coop. Any closing thoughts?
I love you, Nick.
Oh, Coopy, I love you too.
You know
man.
what? That's hard for me to say because you're a Celtics fan, but I love you. That's all.
I love you, Coop.
We'll end with that. We love everybody out there.
We love everybody.
If you're gonna do it the right way, Nick. Don't make a hard side. You're gonna do it.
I don't know how to do it, man. I'm
all
so
right,
white.
Thank you guys for having us.
Later, guys.